The Kyler Murray experiment has definitely been interesting for the Arizona Cardinals. There's been some huge moments, some flashes, some incredible numbers, but there's also been some big disappointments and some very low lows for this team and for Kyler Murray. And now they're sitting there with Kyler Murray having a massive contract extension, one of the biggest contracts in NFL history, and the people who gave it to him are now gone. Head coach Cliff Kingsbury, gone. GM, gone. And now we're getting a story from that GM who's since been let go about Kyler Murray and about someone who warned them they'd regret drafting him. And that's, of course, the guy who went right after him, 49ers Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa said he'd haunt the Cardinals for picking Kyler Murray in the NFL draft. And we might as well just go right here. Former Cardinals general manager Steve Keim said current star Nick Bosa warned him and Cliff Kingsbury after his pre-draft visit in 2019. This is a crazy story, and Steve Keim has been talking a lot, including about Kyler Murray, including about some of the pieces and parts of this team, including being critical at times of Kyler and not necessarily his work ethic, but he just doesn't know the right way to do things, which is one of the reasons they tried to include that homework clause in his contract that everyone called so racist. But listen to this.
Colin, I have a funny story for you. When Cliff Kingsbury and I got together, to go to see players and have dinners, we went to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and had dinner with Nick Bosa prior to the draft.
Yeah,
and loved him. Obviously, our highest graded guy on the board. Amazing in every way. The only thing you had to even say was a negative was probably if he got injured in the future, which you couldn't forecast.
Yeah. And just to be clear, Nick Bosa has been a monster since he came into the NFL. Now, again, an injury here or there for sure. That's happened to Nick Bosa, but he has been a beast for them.
So we were leaving the dinner, and we were walking out of Mastro's in Fort Lauderdale. And I'll never forget, he puts his arm around me and Cliff Kingsbury, both of us, in basically a headlock. And he said, I think you guys are probably going to end up taking that little quarterback. And if you do, he looked over at me and said, Steve, I will haunt you for the rest of your career.
I love that.
And Colin, we got into the SUV Cliff and I did to go back to the hotel. And I remember we both looked at each other with wide eyes and said, man, I just said to Cliff, I said, he can't catch him. And he really never did.
That's awesome. If you take that, I think you're planning on taking that little quarterback. And if you do, I'm going to haunt you. And, even though maybe Nick Bosa didn't, catch Kyler Murray too often, as he's saying right there, but when you look at the 49ers and you look at the success the 49ers have had in the time since the Cardinals decided to draft Kyler Murray, it's undeniable that the 49ers have had more success. Now, the Cardinals, again, they've had some high moments, and Kyler Murray's had some stretches where he's played phenomenally, but he's also had some stretches where he just played like absolute dog shit. Nothing to do with injuries, just not consistent. Now, maybe this has to do with Call of Duty, double XP weekends and all these things. But, hey, Nick Bosa told these guys, hey, you're going to regret not drafting me. Now, with Cliff Kingsbury and with Steve Keim no longer having jobs with the Arizona Cardinals, you got to wonder if they do regret not taking Nick Bosa and instead going with Kyler Murray. Obviously, when you need a quarterback, you got to take a quarterback. There's some big demands. That's the expectation in the NFL. But right now, Kyler Murray's sitting there with a new GM, a new head coach, and a massive contract, and no one's sure what's going to happen in Arizona in the future. Let me know what you think about this. This is a funny fucking story in the comment section below. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.